Now let's finally discuss the platform overview. Let's take a platform overview and let's understand how things are in terms of when we talk of this platform. Datorama uses three parts. We have segregated it into um, in Datorama. Basically, powerful business information married with easy to use analytics, showing visualization. Like we have a visualization generator, which basically keeps on suggesting and these are the widgets you can use, and these are the advanced parts of the business that you can go ahead with. So that's basically the three parts of the business. What it does is it helps you put all your data at one place and helps you create the widgets. Now, we have talked of widgets, right? We will talk of widgets. Widgets are important, and we will spend quite a long time with widgets at the end, definitely. But then we will spend quite a time with widgets because we need to understand how widget works. What are the types of widgets? Where do we need the widget? How do we need the widget, and what are the ways of configuring the widgets? What are the various options available? How do we make it look better? Right? I know that's pretty exploratory. That's pretty much you need to explore from your side as well. But definitely, once you know that what are the options are available in a certain widget settings, I'm sure things are going to be smooth for you. So say you have a group of people, so Datorama helps you share data across with your co-workers, because you can collaborate on a workspace model. You can collaborate on a workspace level, whereby you see you are working on say display part of the data, your friend is working on a search part of the data, and then when you are doing the visualizations, you're finding insights, you're finding optimizations. You can collaborate with your co-workers together, and together you guys can accomplish wonders. And Datorama allows you to do that, because then Datorama gives you workspace level accesses, whereby there is a workspace in which you can go ahead, plant your data, and everyone from the team can, and then together you can create a data visualization and story which will help you accomplish stuffs. Datorama has advanced visualizations. You can go ahead and look at your revenue. You can go ahead and look at your sales goals, your ROIs. It has widgets which basically gives you a geographical view, whereby how did your media cost, or how is your spend spread across the various countries, continents, or whatever the targeted areas are. And you can have the advanced visuals in Datorama. You can share reports with your peers, and you can optimize your campaigns, right? Datorama comes with three parts. There are three parts of Datorama that basically are the stepping stones when you are in the tool. Namely, we call it connect and mix, analyze and act, and visualize. So connect and mix basically, as the name suggests, and I'm sure you can understand that connect and mix is nothing but connecting your data and its various integration aspects. Analyze and act is the mid form, whereby you're harmonizing your data, you're analyzing the data, you are creating um, you know things which basically help you analyze the integration, and before you visualize the data, it helps you to analyze if I have my data streams correctly, if the data is flowing in correctly, if the integration level harmonizations are done correctly or not. So on and so forth. That helps you with the analyze and act helps you do that. And then there is a tab called visualize, which basically helps you create visuals across data. So what does connect and mix do? Connect and mix helps you to link data sources, classify and manipulate data sources, and do the various yeah. So harmonization begins from the start in Datorama, whereby whenever you are integrating your data sources, from that level itself the harmonization begins. And yeah, so that basically is like, how you classify your data, how you manipulate your data. That is through connect and mix that you do. Analyze and act helps you create actions, generate reports, pivot tables as well. But then pivot tables are accessible from the connected mixes data streams too. Set business goals, etc. Visualize helps you create widgets, dashboards, pages. So pages is like, something that we will discuss during visualization. So each dashboard, in each dashboard you can go ahead and add pages for yourself, and you can customize those pages according to your needs by use of widgets. Right. So that's how your workspace looks like. What is a workspace? We need to understand. Do we have a workspace? So we have a workspace is nothing but an allotted space for you inside the tool where you want to go and like, play around with your data and integrate the data. What does it mean? It basically means that you can create. You have the workspaces, which basically are nothing but placeholders or bifurcations, which you have. You can create it per advertiser, per customer, per agency, however you want to, but you want to designate a uh, certain block of space or certain space within Datorama, whereby whereby you can go ahead and put your data in, and you can create it, and you can name it, and you can basically help it separate from your other clients, brands, advertisers, etc. As you can see that workspaces can be created based on many things, like, workspaces can be created using for customers. You'd see customer one, customer two, customer three. You can create the workspace based on the brands that you're working with. You can create the customers workspaces for bifurcating the marketing agencies that are there, for advertisers, and so on and so forth. So that's how you basically go ahead and um, bifurcate your workspace. Workspaces can be of many types and many forms, and you can name them accordingly for your needs. Oh yeah, one more thing is let's talk of access prior to that. When we were talking about access, workspace level accesses can be defined by an admin. You can like, you in a workspace as well. If you have access can be of many types. An admin basically has edit accesses. He or she can add or remove users uh, from the workspace, give workspace level accesses. Then there are access, like, there are access like partner accesses, analyst accesses, and so on. Power user access. So all these different user accesses have different levels of access to the workspace, whereby some may be able to integrate data and delete them. Some may be like, capable of only viewing the data, and then some may be only viewing some parts of the workspace as well. Um, I've seen a client. I've worked with a client uh, pretty early in my freelance when I do work on, like, projects and freelance as well. So for one of my freelance clients, I've seen that they had provided me with a, I guess that's called a power user, whereby I could only see uh, you know a certain portion of the data. Like, I didn't see the connect and mix tab only, because they didn't want to show me how they are integrating their data, because I'm a party person, right? So they don't want to. But then eventually, when things got screwed up, they had to give me the connect and mix and to harmonize the data. But then that's a separate story. What we are discussing is access can be of many ways. So an access to a workspace doesn't mean you have all the rights of moving around with the components of data, but then there must be an admin who is giving you with specific instructions, specific accesses, specific to your role, right? We are here. So connect and mix is the first tab that we are talking about. Connect and mix helps you to connect your data, and all the questions that we have taken, which starts from connect and mix, right? So connect and mix tab basically will help you to integrate all your data, to integrate all your Excel files, to get your data from FTPs and SFTPs and schedule them in FTPs and SFTPs, to get your email level data, to get your external data versus to get your internal data in forms of APIs, because I have seen most of the APIs to be there as part of Datorama, whereby you can sign up with any of the APIs and you can get your data from the APIs and you can schedule them for automation. Datorama is another, it's meant for automation. It is meant for working on simultaneous projects with seamless operational activity, because what's the use of Datorama then? How Datorama charges you, firstly, when we are talking of the user accesses? Anyone who is aware of how Datorama charges us money?
Not sure, but it might be per user.
Sorry, I didn't get
About
that.
300 per month, $300 per month.
No. I didn't ask for what is the amount. I did ask how, on what parameter does it
Uh,
charge us?
Per
It's a
user,
viewers
like
level
the
and yeah, user level.
Actually, it's not at, like, user accesses is something else, but it charges you at a row level. So how many rows you have in your operational activity is how Datorama charges you. When you take a Datorama access, it basically designates you with certain amount of rows, and then furthermore, if you need to use further more rows, you need to give row level money to Datorama. It basically charges you for every row. Now you understand how pricey the tool is. It is pretty pricey. Now, what we and why are all these harmonizations? Why are we talking about harmonization so much? Because we want to reduce our row level costs. Whatever is relevant, keep that and don't keep your redundant data. Now you might be thinking, oh, I don't. When you mean by that, you don't mean that I can keep a repository from 2017 onwards, but you need to be your own judge that are you using your 2017 onwards ka data? If yes, good, you need to pay. If you know, and if you are using, and I'm very much sure a person never never uses historical data on a full aspect. When I say full aspect, you don't need your data modeling, you don't need your your water flow waterfall charts so that it shows you a trend. Because if you are at 2022 and if you have not seen your trend since 2000, if you need to see your trend from 2017, then there's something wrong that's happening. 2017 data may help you see or frame hypothesis to look at predictive analysis models or segment or attribution models and see how different it is. But I'm sure, predominantly it's not being used. Now, if you're not using that, then go ahead and remove your redundant data, and you need to do that at every point of time. It is being said that whatever tool, be it Datorama or be it any other, be it we jokingly call it like, be it Datorama or be it Dato Lakshmana. But ignore my joke. But then, be it any other tool, you need to go ahead and remove the redundant data, because that is something which takes you back. Also, you need to keep in mind that Datorama charges you at a row level basis. So I won't be keeping any of the redundant rows, and I'll be always keeping the ones which are necessary. For that, Datorama has provided you with certain harmonizational techniques which helps you identify and get only the tailor-made data that is required for your workspace and for your client, right? Coming to client and connect and mix. Connect and mix helps you with connecting data across the various sources that are present. If we take this small slide, this is a part of the connectors. When you get your access, or if you already have your access, so you can see the amount of, or the diversity of the of data connectors present in Datorama that you can go ahead and utilize for yourself, right? Then there comes the APIs that are present. All these are APIs that are present in Datorama in form of Adobe Analytics, AdRoll, App Nexuses, Facebook, Google Analytics. When we take APIs and when we discuss about APIs, we will discuss about all these aspects, and we will see how a API can facilitate us, and what is the difference between an API, regular API, which provides us with stuffs, differ from a custom API, and how does custom API helps us get things more or customized according to our needs, and what are the deficits in a um, regular API, correct? And then there comes Total Connect. By the way, this visual that you see is from the old version of the Datorama thing. Nothing has changed, okay? It's just that the look has changed. All these things remain. Just the look has changed for these, uh, like how you see the interface, it has changed, and nothing else has changed. All these options are the same, but yeah, the logo color and the position, all these things have differed a bit, not changed as well. It's basically upgrading your iOS from one to other, where you see a visual label change only. So yeah, so Total Connect. What does Total Connect do? Total Connect basically helps you connect all other data apart from your APIs, right? And you have sales data, you have Prisma data, you have email, sales, offline, whatever is there in your mind, whatever you get from your account managers. You go ahead, do a Total Connect, ingest this data from Total Connect, and go ahead and do the modeling, and you're good to go. Datorama helps you with when you are in, like, in the connect and mix tab. You have the data streams list, which basically helps you with the streams list. Don't worry about these things, that, oh, where is the list. I will take it through an entire platform overview in the platform itself, but let me just show you what all are the things which are there. So data streams list, which basically gives you the list of all the data streams that are there. Data load rules, which basically helps you filter data prior to the data ingestion. Yeah, and you can create rules to filter out data. Data mapping is something that is done, which is basically mapping the data. What is mapping the data? It's basically how your raw data comes in and merges with the already existing Datorama model fields, um, not compromising the data modeling concept that is there. Oh, that's a tough sentence, right? Okay. Your raw data comes in, and then Datorama has its own model fields present. It's um, how you map your left hand side columns to the right hand side columns, the left hand side columns being the raw data columns versus the right hand side columns, which basically are the Datorama model fields, correct? And how do you map them, and how do you map them correctly as per your data model and take them forward. That's basically data mapping. Deleting data fusion is another activity that's done. What we don't have over here is harmonization center, which I'll take it as a part of the practical. Data classification, we have dimensions and measurements. Dimensions are nothing but the measurement is nothing but everything that is quantitative, right? So say suppose your impressions, or say your clicks, or say your spend. So these are the things which you can do, like addition, subtraction, you can multiply, and stuffs you can do, right, with your data. It can be your income, it can be your, like, whatever, like whatever is quantitative, which can be added, which can be subtracted, which can be multiplied, which can be divided. Something which is quantifiable, which is quantitative, is called a measurement. And similarly, dimensions are qualitative aspects of data, which basically gives you a qualitative things, like your, so being an employee of a company, you have your employee ID, you have your age, you have your height, you have your weight, you have your um, what else, employee ID, employee name, if you're a non-vegetarian or a vegetarian, your religious aspects, your religious beliefs. So these are the things which are qualitative aspects of data, which defines you. In terms of marketing, in terms of marketing data, we can talk of campaigns, we can talk of campaign IDs, we can talk of placements, placement IDs, brand names, country, code, so on and so forth, right? When you have the left hand part of the data, basically how it comes now, left hand can be the measurements as well. But generally what we look at, how we look at a report. If you have pulled a report, if you have not pulled a report as well, it generally starts with date, right? So date is one of the dimensions that define that on what date was this row processed. Then comes your campaign, then comes your campaign ID, then comes your placement ID, ad groups, keywords. All these are qualitative ones, right? These cannot be added, subtracted. Another level of confusion happens when you try to, like, think like, okay, then I have employee ID. But then employee ID is a number, definitely yes. But employee ID is not summable, right? So being a number as well, it can be a dimension, right? So your age is, say, suppose you are 25-year-old. That's not summable. Like with another's age, I don't want to sum it, because I can. Your employee ID is 3210 and mine is 7777. I can add these two together, but does it make sense to add two employee IDs? Do you get anything out of it? No. But do you get to know that 7777 is an ID of Vinod? You do get it, right? That, oh, okay, this is unique to him. It defines a qualitative, in a qualitative manner, how is a part of this organization. So it's a dimension. It can be a number, but it is a dimension. However, things like impressions, clicks, spend, income, all these things are your share portfolio, your stocks portfolio, your mutual fund investments. All these basically can be summable. It tells a story. Your equity investment versus plus your mutual fund investment plus your say pension scheme investment plus your options and futures investment, all these summable to get. If I sum them together, I can say that, say whoever it is, Harsha. So I can say that this is Harsha's portfolio. Harsha's portfolio consists of all these five things, and Harsha is a he is earning this much, or his portfolio value is this much. But if I add Harsha's employee ID with my employee ID, with Rekha's employee ID, with everyone's employee ID, it doesn't make sense, though it is a number. So you need to understand what are dimensions. It is qualitative and measurements are quantitative. Nice. Coming to analyze and act. Analyze and act is nothing but the second tab in Datorama, which basically is an action center before we go ahead and visualize our stuffs. So it basically has goals, it has scorecards, it has reports, pivot tables, etc. Now, today is the first day of the training. Till the time you work with Datorama, keep this thing in mind, that anything that goes out of Datorama goes in the form of a report. Okay, so anything that goes out of Datorama goes in the form of a report, where you can go and add everything for yourself. And when I say anything that goes out of Datorama, doesn't mean that you go and map your data stream and download it and see. No, but any harmonized thing, anything like, uh, for 5 data streams, what was the performance of search data source um, in the month of May? If that is the condition, then you need to bring that data out, right? So that is how you do through a report in Datorama. So what is a report and how does it work? It's basically, when you go to report, there is a column called name. You have the export format in Excel, CSV, TSV, TXT, PNG, PDF, PPT. However you want, you can export the report. There is a time period. You can choose the time period for yourself, like last 30 days, last whatever 10 days, this week, this year, this month, whatever it is. What are the measurements that I want to take out, like clicks, impressions, etc. Dimensions can be delivery, dimensions can be campaigns, etc. A campaign name or a campaign category, whatever you choose for yourself. And then, now if you need this report, we need to export reports for some operations in Datorama. Say suppose I want to see how the data is, or what are, if the quality is correct, if I do need to do a random sampling of data, or or there are operations like re-immersions, which is another important topic, will be covered towards the last of the session. When we do need to do re-immersions and things like that, we need to do is we need to bring the data out in form of a report and feed it back. But then that is, if that is a regular activity, we need to have a scheduler in mind. So we have frequencies of daily, weekly, hourly, monthly. We can also set the delivery hour. Oops, sorry. We can also set the delivery hour in here. We can have the delivery method, email, FTP, SFTP, etc. And when you do that, you will see that you're under the tab of report scheduler. You will have a column which tells that the delivery method is email, and the delivery detail of who will get the report daily is enabled, and this person gets a notification and receives the report every whatever cadence has been set, right? Coming to the goals widget, we can set goals for ourselves. We can have, like, single goal for all entities, goal ranges. We can set goals for the measurements. So if you see a goal has been set, if you see the measurement is clicks, measurement type is summable, goal type is at least. We have two more options. When we are there, we will see it. At least means at least whatever is defined, like, whatever I want to see. when it reaches, say suppose I tell that at least 100 clicks notify me. So whenever it reaches 100, it will notify me that yes, you have reached your goal. And now if it goes beyond as well, like at least in between. So if I tell that the other option is in between, we'll see, like, when we are in the tool, in between 100 to 200, when it is there, it will notify me, or at least will notify me, things like that. I can set a time period for my goal, that between 1 to 20th July I want to see the goal reach. If it reaches, notify me. If it doesn't, don't notify. Period granularity, entire period. Dimensions and measurements, if you want to like dimensions, if you want to define any, you can. Goal granularity, so on and so forth. We'll take all these things, so yeah, don't worry. So this is basically how you set your goal. It's basically 0 to 38, then red. 38 to 99, it should be yellow. 99 and above, it should be green. And you see that widget to your right, which is like you're at 107%, so it's marked as green. There is action center. Action center basically helps you get all these notifications. Now you have set your goal, correct? Now you want to have your notifications. Notifications can come through emails. That's basically the most most uh, goals are set. When there are small goals, when there are one or two goals, it basically comes through email. But then you want to keep the entire team of your optimization or analytics team geared up, that if this goal is met, then we are going to do something. For that, you need your entire team to be knowing it. And now if the goal is met at 3 o'clock in the morning, you're like, oh, I need to send it back when I'm back in office tomorrow. For that, you have, like, third party connectors like Twilio, Slack, webhook, which basically are which basically notifies your entire group of colleagues immediately once you have reached your goal, and it notifies you using the third party tools. And finally, we are at visualize. Visualize is nothing but how your visuals look like. So when you go to visualize tab, you can see, like, this is an all collection of all the dashboards. When you filter the dashboards, inside the dashboards, you can create pages. So when you see, like, 41 pages, 81, 18 pages, 33 pages, and all those things. So you basically go ahead and create pages in your dashboards. So these are dashboards, and then the dashboard name over here is decision lenses, and all these are pages, right? All these inside the dashboard is pages called the various pages that you want to, like, it can be split across, say, search, social, display. All these three have, like, three separate dashboards. Or you can have, like, in one view you can have all your channel dashboards, and then all these pages can be for different brands together. You can have different brands dashboards in the different pages that you define for yourself. Correct. All these are examples of the various widgets in dashboards, whereby you can see there are goals, sales goal, revenue goal, marketing goals. We have forecasting, whereby we have total revenue versus marketing spend. And then we have these forecasted revenue and forecasted media insights that comes from Einstein, or you have found it from your goals widgets itself. So we have, like, channel analysis. All these are widgets that you can create as part of the Datorama visuals, where you can have, like, your KPIs, trending and forecasting, marketing spend, digital advertising, share of digital advertising, etc., etc. So this is your workspace, like, um, how you create a widget basically is, like, you go to the plus symbol, you drag something, and then you put your measurements and dimensions for a bar graph. You can choose a bar graph. We will see this in some time. You can define your clicks and impressions, and then you can create your bar graphs, your charts, and whatever is there. User settings, yes, this is something that comes for your workspace, whereby you have your training hub, you have users, workspaces, rows usage, global view of things. Whereby in the users tab, you can define like, what is your user, who are you, and your admin can set your user credentials in there, and like, workspaces will allow you to workspaces. So workspaces will allow you to, like, if you're working for multiple projects, you can switch your workspace from the tab that you see from your user settings, and you can switch to the different workspaces that you have access for, right? So that's all about